we're back one more time for a tailgate. It's Boris, first in, first on. Howdy, sir. Huva ilta, Boris. Great to see you as always. Now, oh my God. I got this. And I got it. But I didn't want to open it until I knew James could see me open it. I don't know if he's on or not, and it's okay if he's not right now, because I'm going to do this in the first 5 minutes, and then I'm going to smoke it for the rest of this show. But maybe y'all know who sent it to me. Little guy, big heart, kindly named James Stumbo. Howdy, Cedric. Great to see you, sir. And Steve and Miss Kathy, howdy. Great to see all of y'all today. Now, I'm going to tell you, I absolutely loved the orange blend of McSwine's Resurrection. And this is only the tobacco version. And I actually had a talk with James today. I thought it was good talk, personally. And I'm going to tell you, I really, really wanted to smoke this live last night, but I already had a cigar lit. And I couldn't guarantee that I could taste this while I was smoking something like this, or right after I had finished smoking something like that. So this gets to that point where I'm going to remind y'all of a clean palate, difficult to come by, but necessary if you're going to be doing tastings and trying to say, oh, well, this is what I'm tasting. But if you just ate a chocolate bar, you're probably still tasting chocolate. If you just smoked a bowl of Haunted Bookshop, and you go to something light, you're still going to be tasting Haunted Bookshop. Same thing with cigars. If you just smoked a Maduro and you try to smoke a Connecticut, you're still going to be tasting the Maduro. Now, whether or not what you're tasting is actually what you're tasting or not, there's a few ways to clear that up. Clean palate. Think about it like wine. When they do wine tastings, they go out there and they hand you this stack of crackers. I've been to one and one only wine tasting, because it was enough to know that I don't know crap about wine other than, oh, I like this one. Well, I'm a dumbass if I keep trying to do that, because, wow. All I can tell you is I do like it or I don't like it. I can't tell you nothing about it. So I'm drinking a slightly orange-infused sparkling water, which is unfortunate because I've tried this blend with orange in it. And yeah, see, Boris, I agree with you. If you're going to be trying a brand new blend and you've never had it before, trying it directly after a cigar is almost impossible. Listerine, brush your teeth, and you still have a little bit of it because it's in your nose. And you get a lot of your actual taste is actually smell, but it's the neurons firing off from your smell receptors that are firing into your brain, and they're telling you you're tasting something. So, I mean, it takes a while to get the cigar to clear. And I wanted to be fair. I wanted to be completely fair to the Mixed Wines Resurrection. So, two things here. First, I'm going to be smoking that tonight in this gorgeous little pipe from TPI. It's actually got a gigantic, huge bowl. I mean, look, I got pretty big hands. Okay, there's the first knuckle. Some people like a one knuckle bowl. That's almost to the bend on the second knuckle. And I'm going to tell you, that's actually fairly deep. Oh, and look, my thumb goes in there pretty good. So when I tell you it's actually a really large bowl for such a small pipe, I mean it. Boris, I can't agree with you more. Now, my one and only fear right now is that it's going to gurgle. It has been misting and almost slightly raining all day. Now, it got warm and it's starting to cool off, so the drops are getting bigger, but it's not going to clear out this 100% humidity. Oh, Steve, that's too bad. You can send it to me. I'll smoke it for you. Don't send it to me. If you can't find that you're close enough to Cliff or Ron Hardcrackers or something at some point and you feel like you really want to send it to me, I'll smoke it because I loved it. I'm not going to lie about it. That stuff was brilliant. Ah, Paul, howdy, sir. Great to have you in tonight. Now, of course, we are tailgating for the Nashville Mafia. And James might or might not be able to attend. That's because he likes spending time with his son on Wednesdays. And I'm going to say it like this. To anybody who wants to try and shame James for watching wrestling, he knows what it is. But for him, it's really that time to spend with Hunter. And let's be honest. Kids these days, they're not spending time with their parents. They're spending time with their PlayStation. They don't get to spend time with Dad with a bonding experience. They spend time with Xbox and Roblox or whatever the newest game is. Matthew, howdy sir. Great to have you in tonight. Hopefully all is well for each and every one of you. Again, it is a little wet out here tonight, so everything's as well as I can be. I am wearing a hoodie just to keep the kind of moisture off of me. It's not cold. It's not cold, and that's why the hood's not up. But it is relatively damp. Has been all day. So we're going to give this blend a shot. Oh, and as I was saying about James, I very much commend any father that's going to take the time to spend that time with their sons. I didn't have that growing up. 80% of my dad's time that he could have spent with me, yeah, the time that he spent with me was normally whooping on me. And, you know, I deserved some of it. I'll admit it. I wasn't the best person on the planet. I don't think I deserved all that, but I can admit that I deserved some of it. Ah, Steve, not a problem. That also would be a great place to send any of McSwine's resurrection that you don't want, is to Dingus. So without him, none of us would have tasted any of it. Caramel cake and bootylicious burley. Caramel cake has a lot of Latakia? Well, I'll have to ask for that next time. For anybody who hadn't had the Num Nums, for an all Virginia blend, I'm telling you, except for the fact that I know he has no reason to lie to me, I would swear that he lied to me. Because there's some hints of like Perique and a little bit of burley. We're talking like the burley fairly flew over and just dusted it. There's none in there. It's Virginia. He says it's Virginia. I'm going to take him at his word that it's Virginia. But there's certain things that I'm not used to in Virginias, which, look, as I've said before, I'm kind of a novice at pipes. Sure, I've been smoking them for years, but mostly I was smoking cigars. And, oh, Matthew, Num Nums is phenomenal. If I had any left, I'd think about sending you some. But I'll be honest, me having any Num Nums left is like Gollum giving up a certain ring. It ain't gonna happen easy. Because it was good. Now, McSwine's Resurrection, what I smelt when I first opened it up was that rich blending of tobaccos. There was a lot going on there. And yeah, it would be hard to explain it if you haven't ever been into a true walk-in humidor. Paul, yes, I still have like a small pinch of that. And the only reason I have a small pinch of that is because every time I reach for it, I slap my own hand. I gotta treat my own self like a kid. But yes, the orange blend is McSwine's Resurrection, but with the orange, and so good. It, to me, it tastes like a perfect old fashioned. If you don't know what an old fashioned is, look it up in any kind of bartending catalog of drinks. There's 100 different ways you can make it, but yeah, wow. Oh, Matthew, I'm not really a huge just straight Virginia fan. I mean, I like some Perique in my blends, and I like Latakia, and there was a certain smokiness there that I would have thought there was maybe a little Latakia, probably a bit of Perique. And no, it was just all Virginia, but trying to pick out each and every one of the different Virginias was surprisingly hard because it was blended very well. And if you get some from him, thank your lucky stars, because that stuff is phenomenal. Okay, first puffs. Let's go. Now remember, this is the base that was then blended with the orange essence, for lack of better explanation, and then pressed so that it could become McSwine's Resurrection. Okay. There is that touch of Perique. And I know there's some Virginias in there because I get like a... It's not a hay that most people are going to be familiar with, but it reminds me of alfalfa. James Stumbo, howdy, sir. Like fresh mowed sweet grass, but I'm having a hard time picking out exactly which one. And now when I stop, I get that bitterness from the Kentucky, which always hits me. And some blends I don't mind, and some blends are just way too much. But it's not quite charcoaly, but it's pretty good. Oh, Steve, that's cool. Well, I hope Badger enjoys those pipes. Jose Golf Piper, howdy, sir. So I can taste where this blend came from, and I know where it went to. And James, this is good. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to down on this, but if I knew that this was the original, I probably would have been real worried about the orange. And I was slightly worried about the orange anyways, because you said it had some of the Kentucky Dark Fired and then the orange, and I was like, man, that could end up real bitter. But what you did to get it to go from this to go to the final product, wow, over the top and beautifully done. Yes, sir. Just opened it. Literally. If you go back to the very front, you can see me taking the knife and making sure to hold this side, because this other side has addresses. Now, for anybody who would be worried that that orange is just too much, too aromatic for you, I'm going to tell you, you're probably going to like this. Okay, I get more hay on the retrohale. But like I said, there's a sweet overtone, and I'm guessing it's from one of the Virginias. Like if you do not retrohale, you'll get a certain sweetness that's just right there on the tip of the tongue that fades. Or at least it fades for me. I want all of y'all to remind yourselves, simple statement here. No two people are tasting the exact same things. So if you are tasting similar things, then we have similar palates. And if you're tasting something different than what I'm tasting, you're not wrong. You just have a different palate. Howdy, Southern Piper. Great to see you, sir. Yeah, so James, this is weird because like this, I mean, I'm okay with, but I'm not going to be like, "Oh my god, you got to try this." "Oh, this is so good. Oh yeah, you got to try this." I'd be like, it's a satisfying smoke. But I'm not going to sit there and go gushing about it. Now, the one with the orange essence in it, I told James he should figure out a way to get one of these mass producers to produce it for him and just take the royalties from it. Even if it doesn't do anything other than pay for his daughter's and son's college, that would be worth it. Because, I mean, if C&D was to figure out a way to reproduce the McClellan's Perique enough to blend with the orange and make what James made, I'd buy it. I'd buy it right now. I don't even have money. I'd fucking sell a kidney. Come on. Let me buy some. Alright, I wouldn't sell a kidney. I might need those. And because I have kidney stones, I don't think anybody would want my kidneys anyways. Howdy, Mark. Great to see you, sir. I hear you also got a bag of McSwine's Resurrection with no orange flavoring, which it's not flavoring. It's just the orange oils. And I mean, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's not... And I'm not trying to be mean to James at all. But it's hard for me not to compare this with the orange one. And the orange one to me was just far superior to, well, 80% of all tobaccos I've ever smoked. There's very, very few out there that are competing with it, and almost none in a pipe blend. I mean, let's put it in James terminologies. Let's see. This would be a 2.5 star type of a blend. It's good. You keep it on the shelf. You load a bowl. You have it. Probably goes real well with coffee. I don't have any coffee with me right now. Otherwise, I would test that out. But I will be doing that in the morning. But the one with the orange would be the 5-star blend that you jar up and you set on the shelf, and when company comes over, you hide it away so that they don't ask to have any, because you know you can't reproduce it. And you're going like, I might fight a friend for a pound bag of that. Yeah, Mark, so this is like just really... You can tell that it's the same blend if you really concentrate, but The orange does a little bit, and the pressing does a little bit. Yeah, Mark, if he had enough of McClellan's Perique to actually be able to produce this, I'd figure out a way to send him enough money that he could make several presses. That way, about, once every 30 days, he would be able to pull another pressing out. If not 15 days, if not 5 days, if not every day. And then I'd have Holly marketing the hell out of it, because she'd make everybody money. It's just the way she is. By the way, if y'all weren't watching James Stumbo's live last night, y'all missed out. He had a guest typist. James, that's a kingly gift there. That is a kingly gift in anybody's book, because it was that good. It was an aromatic that wasn't. It smelled of orange strongly. It didn't overpower it, though. And I'm telling you, for me, it tasted just like a perfectly mixed old-fashioned, which is one of my favorites of all time as far as a mixed drink goes. Yes, I'm a bourbon neat kind of guy. But if I'm just trying to relax and sip, old-fashioned works for me. And no, James, you better not send it to me. Don't do it. Just saying, don't do it. A rust red Virginia. Okay. Now, I've had lemon Virginias from about 15 different locations. And I've had something called bright Virginia, which I would have swore was lemon Virginia, but they don't even taste the same. I've had a dark red Virginia, but I don't believe I've ever had a sweet rust red Virginia. James and Mark, because Mark, I have your email, and James, I have your messenger. If y'all need me to go between emails and messenger, I will make it happen. Oh, it would figure that there are about 30 to 35 types of Virginia, and I'm not going to have anybody try to type that much. That'd be ridiculous. Good question, Matthew. James, what straight Virginia blend that's readily available today would you pretty much recommend? Now, the H&H Pure Virginia is pretty good. I smoked 5 flakes of that the other day. 3 of them in one pipe. It was delicious. But I think without the pressing, I think the pressing is what really gives Virginia a enjoyable, to me, fullness of flavor. Howdy, Cole. Great to see you, sir. Okay, so dark Virginias taste like a long brewed sweet tea. Is that pressed or is that just loose leaf? See, I don't know enough about Virginias other than like from my time when I smoked cigarettes to tell y'all enough about Virginias to fill up a thimble. I couldn't do it. Now, some things that James was saying the other day about how certain parts of the plant are going to taste different from certain parts of the same exact plant, and that if you cross the road, it'll taste different from field to field. And that's all very true. Now, I know that for a fact. I have been other countries where it tastes completely different. And I will tell you, the thumbnail where James had of those fields of tobacco, he says it's from right there in Kentucky area, and I'm going to tell you that looks just like every field of tobacco I've ever seen. And I went to Nicaragua once and got to see some. You'll never see tobacco fields that are flat. The drainage is important. Okay, Matthew, in case you didn't read that or not, but that's the H.H. Pure Virginia, which I agree with. The Sutliff number 1 barrel aged Virginia, I haven't had, but I'll look for it. Sun Bear, did not try it, didn't want to. And the Carolina Red Flake, soon to be on my list of things to get. Yes, Mark, fields can change from year to year, and what's planted around the field that has nothing to do with the actual Virginias or tobaccos can change things. Howdy, Robert. Great to see you, sir. Now, to explain that what is planted around a field can greatly affect it. Where cigars are grown, so grows certain citruses and bananas and various other things. And there is a certain cigar out there called Eye of the Shark that originally one of the tobaccos that's in that was next to a field of bananas, and it had that certain banana flavor to it, which was nice, interesting. And then the people that owned that land sold it. Someone planted it full of tobacco, and now the Eye of the Shark doesn't have that banana flavor anymore, which is how I know for a fact. It's that simple. Something that's planted a block away can affect a whole tobacco field. Oh, how is that, Robert? Greg, I'm not certain that it's a pollination thing, but that would be my guess. Also, howdy, Greg. Great to see you, sir. Good question, Matthew. I have no idea about stoving or making them age artificially. And like every tailgate, remember, this is a tailgate. Ask questions of anybody. Not just me. It's fine. I'm just as interested as you are, but I'm not sure how to ask certain questions that maybe you are going to ask. Steve, personally, I would hope so, but I don't believe that it would happen. Up. So Robert's saying that the new stuff from C&D is delicious. But if you didn't get in on the first 20 seconds of it, you didn't get any. As per normal with C&D. Oh, for anybody who wants to try a phenomenal cigar, but I'm going to tell you right now, you better get on getting it. There were only 6,000 boxes made. There's only 18 cigars in a box. It's called the Amazon Basin. It is coming back out for a limited release. Available right now through JR Cigars and probably through Cigar International. I am not sure where else, but I'm telling you, it's one of those cigars that you're going to be like, damn, I am so happy I missed, because now I know what I've been missing. Very, very good cigar. Probably the best cigar that CAO ever made. And it's just fantastic. And my buddy who manages the shop right up the road, I'm going to tell you, he's already told me he'll text me as soon as they show up so that I can run up there and get some. James, I would be okay with Tabasco sauce in my in my tobacco. I like both of them. Howdy, Dan Lopez. Great to see you, sir. Now, of course, I am just tailgating for the Nashville Mafia, so if anybody gets wind that they've gone live, please let me know. That way we can jump over there. Yes, James. Tomatoes will do real well with egg down near the roots. They also do real well with sardines. Not that I would waste good sardines down in making a tomato plant grow, but they do really well with sardines. All right, James, you take care. Love to your whole family, dogs and cats included. Kim, Hunter, if y'all are there, love y'all. Y'all take care. Amber, if you're watching somehow, howdy. Be safe wherever you're at. Yeah, Robert, I'm right there with you. Good sardines, I'm not wasting them. I'm eating them. Now, I've had some that were pretty horrible. Okay, Jose, I'm going to type that in. It is the CAO Amazon Basin. And that's the cigar to look for if you're really wanting to try something that's extremely limited. They bring it out once every 3 years. They're only bringing out 3 boxes this year. And the last time I heard about it, I had heard that they were no longer going to produce it at all, which made me cry. I mean, it was like very painful to think it was going away completely. Oh yeah, coffee grounds in with your soil. Coffee grounds do great. I've learned a lot of this stuff from my mother-in-law. She knows more about plants than she's forgotten more about plants than I'll ever know. But when we plant the garden, if she says, "Oh, this is what we're doing," that's exactly what the hell I do. I'm not going to question her. I've seen what she can do. I can't do half of that. Boris, I will not be buying a box. I'm only going to get probably about 5 of them. Howdy, Donnie. Great to see you, sir. But I believe that my buddy who runs the shop right up the road has already said it's going to be a 5 cigar limit, and nobody's buying boxes. It's not happening, because with a 6,000 box run, that's not enough to go around. Oh, yeah. There's going to be a lot of guys that are going to go in there and get 5, walk out, come back an hour later, get 5 more, walk out, come back an hour later, get 5 more. There will be people that will do that. And I'll tell you right now, if it's 5/8 as good as the last batch, 6,000 boxes will not last a month. So Cigar International and JR Cigars that I know has them right now, you better order if you're not right next to a place. That looks about like everybody else's price. I don't think anybody's discounting those at all. So they're also available at Famous Smoke Shop. Okay. Oh, and Robert's saying 288. So, Robert, I would suggest ordering from Famous Smoke Shop from wherever it is that you just looked. Oh, 233. Okay, so everybody's basically showing up about the same price. And yes, it's 18 cigars. If you can buy a box, go for it. Yes, Piper said you should be able to get singles. Oh, very nice. Roll cakes. Oh, and yesterday when I went looking at my buddy's shop yesterday, yeah, that was one of the cigars I was looking at. Except for they weren't there. Well, Robert, yes, they are very pricey. Roughly $12 a stick. But if you're interested in getting one, I would suggest getting one. If you're going to do with the Amazon basin what I did with McClellan's and be like, well, now that they're going out of business, I don't even want to know. I've never had any frogs. Ever. And all the McClellan's that I've ever had has been blended in something else, such as 5% Perique. $12.99 a stick. Okay. Well, I wasn't lying that it's $12 a stick. I just didn't know the exact price that they're putting on a stick. And then they're going to want you to pay shipping. Which, yeah. But it's one of those sticks that I would recommend to anybody and everybody, because I've never found anybody that didn't like it. Ever. And no, I'm not trying to sell cigars. I don't care. You don't want to buy it, don't. But don't cry to me if you do not ever have an Amazon basin to smoke, because they are surprisingly way beyond good. Let's see. I'll get 5. Let me see what I'm going to do. 5. I'm going to take those 5 and I'm going to not smoke one for 3 months. And then I'm going to smoke one. And then the others are going to sit around for another 3 months. And then I will smoke one. And eventually I will wear out that little supply of 5. But I will enjoy the hell out of each and every one of them. Now, Mark, that's actually a really good way to grow a whole lot of stuff. Because the corn is strong enough to support the beans and the squash, and it will still produce really nice corn. Plus, the squash will put enough shade that the beans should actually have, well, normally they'll end up with a little bit of a bumper crop because the beans don't like too much heat, so that shade underneath the squash will help that out. Old farming techniques, they still work. Robert, I didn't actually know that, but okay, that's cool. And I guess the corn will suck up any extra water that's laying around so that there's not enough water for weeds to actually take root. Corn will suck up a lot of water. So will squash. Beans, not so much. I know this because my mother-in-law has me watering the garden. And it'll be like, water this, this, and this, leave this dry. And then next time she'll be like, water everything. Okay. Oh, very nice, Donnie. That's correct, Robert. You know, something else that actually helps put nitrogen back in the ground is Venus flytraps. But you got to be a little bit careful on where you're planting a Venus flytrap, because some of those flies that they'll take down are really good for pollination. They get too big, they'll take out bees that are also really good for pollination. I only grow them inside the house. That way the occasional fly that gets loose finds the Venus flytrap. Venus flytrap has a snack. Okay, so if anybody's looking, that the Nashville Mafia is on. I'm over the hour, so they normally would be on pretty soon here. Just give us a heads up if you see it. I don't know why YouTube will sometimes tell me all about one place and then they go completely dark for months on end. Oh, very good. Okay, so they're live now. All right. I didn't get the notification, but y'all did. Very good. Very good. All right. Gentlemen, I know this is tailgates are weird. We talk various different things. Never know what you're going to get. Very true. And Mark, appreciate this pipe. Oh, smoke's so good. All right. So, y'all remember, take care of yourselves and each other. Do the best you can with that. And as per always, remember, long lives, big bowls, and long ashes. Y'all take care, and I'll see you over on the Nashville Mafia Live channel here in just a minute. Bye for now.